Hey you all, this is Brian, and you are watching the Dark Age channel.
What would you do if the world as you know it changed overnight, knowing that some people close to you just don't have what it takes to survive when things go sideways? Heck, how do you even know you're not one of them? When it comes to surviving the unthinkable, being ready is everything. But there are things we don't often think about. Trivial matters such as upbringing and personality traits. Things that might actually set us back in a crisis without us being aware. When it comes to survival, being caught unprepared is like setting out on a voyage without a map or compass. Imagine facing a severe situation without the basic supplies or the know-how to use them. This gap in readiness can quickly escalate from inconvenience to crisis. It's not just about stacking cans and collecting gear. Understanding how to purify water, manage injuries, and find food are skills equally critical. This lack of preparation and knowledge fundamentally undermines one's ability to withstand emergencies, making the unprepared vulnerable from the get-go. Today, we're diving into a totally different topic. Not the importance of being prepared for anything, because we preppers already know about all that. Instead, we're taking a closer look at the kinds of people who could potentially hold us back when survival becomes our #1 priority. Knowing these can either help us help them or avoid them altogether. Number 10, the indecisive. And finally, let's talk about a neighbor's daughter. I'll call her Jamie. Always wavering between choices, especially under pressure. In everyday life, this might cause minor inconveniences, but in an SHTF scenario, hesitating can be deadly. Quick, decisive action often spells the difference between safety and danger. Number 9, the overly optimistic or always in denial. Let's talk about me, or at least who I used to be. I used to look at every glass as half full, even when it's rapidly emptying. This optimism, while valuable in stable conditions, proved dangerous in a recent scenario that's too personal I can't talk about. But by underestimating the severity of situations, some people might delay crucial preparations or take unnecessary risks, mistaking hope for strategy. This misjudgment can lead to being unprepared when disaster strikes, with dire consequences. Over the years, I've learned to balance optimism with realism. I researched, learned about the historical impacts of similar crises, and the importance of preparedness can open eyes without instilling fear. Scenario planning that includes both best and worst-case situations can help overly optimistic individuals understand the value of being prepared for anything. Encouraging a mindset that remains hopeful yet grounded in the reality of the situation ensures that our optimism becomes a strength, not a vulnerability, enabling effective planning and action in the face of uncertainty. Number 8, the chronically ill. You might have a relative who deals with chronic health issues that require regular medication and medical attention. In a stable world, managing these conditions is part of a routine. But throw in an SHTF scenario, where pharmacies are closed and healthcare services are disrupted, and their situation becomes dire. Chronic conditions can quickly escalate without proper management, turning manageable illnesses into severe complications or even life-threatening conditions. The best way to support them is by pushing them to stockpile necessary medications and learn basic medical skills that can make a difference. You can also help them understand how to store medications properly and explore alternative therapies that could be used in the absence of traditional medicine are vital steps. Also, fostering a supportive community that understands their needs and can offer help or resources in tough times is crucial. By preparing for the worst while hoping for the best, these people can navigate the challenges of an SHTF scenario with confidence, ensuring that health conditions are a consideration, not a sentence. Number 7, the oversharer. My wife, Jen, used to be very proud of our survival stash that she doesn't shy away from showing it off on social media or in conversations. While sharing knowledge is generally positive, in a survival scenario, oversharing can turn your resources into a target. Because everyone knows about our well-stocked basement, it wasn't long before desperation led some people whom we didn't know, knocking on our door. Jen's oversharing endangered not just our supplies, but also our safety. Thankfully, she learned her lesson. She educated herself about the importance of discretion, and the potential consequences of oversharing is crucial. Workshops on privacy settings, discreet preparation practices, and the value of keeping a low profile can cultivate a more cautious approach. We also researched on how we can share knowledge in secure, anonymous ways to allow so we can contribute to the prepper community without compromising our safety again. Heck, it's one of the reasons we started this YouTube channel. Number 6. The overly dependent techie. We all have friends who can't imagine life without a smartphone in hand, relying on technology for everything from navigation to food delivery. In an SHTF scenario, when the grid goes down and gadgets turn into bricks, their heavy dependence on modern conveniences could be a critical weakness. Without these tools, basic survival skills like reading a map, starting a fire, or sourcing food become daunting challenges. To help these people, the goal is to reintroduce the basics. Starting with low-tech solutions for everyday tasks can rebuild foundational skills lost to convenience. Workshops on manual navigation, fire-making, and foraging can bridge the gap between reliance on technology and self-sufficiency. Encouraging unplugged weekends, where technology takes a back seat to nature and traditional methods, can enhance comfort with the analog world. This gradual immersion will help them appreciate the balance between leveraging technology and not letting it become a crutch, ensuring resilience when faced with scenarios that demand a return to basics. Number 5. The non-adaptable. Imagine Taylor, who's got only one plan and will stick to it, come hell or high water. At least she's got a plan, right? But when disaster flips the script, that rigidity could be her downfall. Flexibility isn't just nice to have. In a world turned upside down, it's survival. Being non-adaptable means struggling to adjust as the situation evolves, potentially making catastrophic decisions based on preconceived biases. Helping her starts with fostering adaptability. Interactive scenarios, where plans are purposefully upended, can teach the value of thinking on your feet. Engaging Taylor in diverse survival training, from urban evasion to wilderness survival, broadens the toolkit and prepares for the unexpected. Encouraging curiosity and continuous learning ensures that when Plan A falls apart, she is ready with Plans B through Z. This approach doesn't just prepare her for survival scenarios, but for thriving in the ever-changing landscape of life itself. Number 4. The lone wolf. Going solo in an SHTF scenario sounds like a tough guy movie plot, but in real life, it's a fast track to trouble. You probably know someone who's so badass he thinks riding out the storm alone is the only way to go. The thing is, when he's on his own, there's no one to share his load, both physically and mentally. From foraging for food to keeping watch at night, it's all on him. This isolation isn't just lonely, it's risky. A simple injury, easily treated with a buddy's help, could become life-threatening. Helping this guy starts with breaking through his lone wolf mentality. It's about showing the strength in numbers, not just for survival tasks, but for the invaluable moral support. Forming or joining a local group with shared survival interests can be a game changer. Community groups can offer a network of knowledge and a sense of belonging. These connections provide not just a safety net, but a shared pool of resources and skills, turning the lone wolf into the alpha dog of a resilient community. Number 3. The don't know, don't care type. In a situation where the world turns on its head, being unprepared isn't just inconvenient, it's potentially life-threatening. Imagine someone without basic supplies or the know-how to make it through unpredictable times. I know of a guy, let's call him Alex, who might find himself scrambling at the last minute, trying to gather food, water, and other essentials, but it's a race against time and scarcity. His lack of preparation puts him at a significant disadvantage from the start, making him more vulnerable to the immediate impacts of crisis situations. Helping him won't just be about handing over a checklist of items to acquire. It'll also be about encouraging a mindset shift towards recognizing the importance of preparedness. This means I'll have to educate him on basic survival skills, from water purification to understanding which foods have the longest shelf life and even basic first aid. Online tutorials can be lifesavers in this regard. Number 2. The always updated but ill-informed. Picture Jordan, who's stocked up based on the latest viral survival hacks but missed the mark on true essentials. It's not just about having gear, it's understanding its use and the basics of survival. Misinformation could lead Jordan to prioritize the wrong things, like hoarding gadgets over learning water purification or misjudging the importance of a well-rounded food supply. This misunderstanding could drastically reduce Jordan's chances when reality hits hard. To steer this guy in the right direction, education is key. It's not about dumping data, but guiding through reliable sources and hands-on experience. If you've been prepping for a while, you can offer him the knowledge foundation needed. Gently push him to camping trips focused on survival skills to bridge the gap between theory and practice. It's about creating an informed, adaptable mindset that values skill over gadgets, ensuring he can make informed decisions and prioritize effectively when under pressure. Number 1. The lazy, unwilling type. There are always people who hesitate at the thought of hard choices and sacrifices. This reluctance can spell disaster in survival situations where hesitation or refusal to adapt can lead to missed opportunities or direct harm. The ability to make tough decisions, from rationing supplies to potentially defending oneself, is essential in the unpredictability of SHTF scenarios. Building the resilience of these people can be very difficult, which means your best bet might be to just totally avoid them. But what if you can't? Then listen up. Survival drills might be helpful, but it would also involve fostering a mindset ready to face and overcome challenges. Mindset training, stress inoculation exercises, and exposure to controlled, challenging situations can strengthen these people's mental fortitude. Encouraging participation in community support networks can also reinforce their understanding that survival is not just about personal fortitude, but also about the strength found in collective action and mutual aid. Empowering them with the belief that they can endure and adapt is key to transforming reluctance into resilience.